From June 2019 till March 2020, Australia experienced the largest and most catastrophic fire event ever recorded. This fire event was so extreme that it ran out of control from the beginning of September to the end of January, burning 18 million hectares of bushland, destroying 3,000 homes, incinerating 1 billion animals and killing 34 people. Australia is a unique continent with 6 climatic zones based around large and inhospitable deserts. This desert region is extensive and provides an inexhaustible source of hot and dry winds, much like an open oven door. Surrounding these deserts are the Australian grasslands. Before white men arrived, these grasslands included multiple species of perennial grasses, herbs and legumes in amongst scattered trees. In just 200 years, land management practices have led to severe desertification. Let's investigate some of these practices. The first major environmental disaster was the introduction of rabbits from England and the subsequent plagues that occurred thereafter. These animals removed most of the vegetation, leading to soil erosion and weed infestation. The next major contributor to desertification of the grasslands is overgrazing. For every climatic zone, there is an optimal amount of grazing that can occur before the plant dies off, weeds infest, and soil becomes bare. Since settlement, farmers have continually removed large tracts of trees in order to sow introduced pastures and grow annual crops. This has led to reduced rainfall in most climatic regions. In many regions around Australia, the removal of trees upset the hydrological balance, bringing salt to the surface, killing almost all plant life. Across most of Australia, the removal of trees and vegetation led to massive soil erosion, which continues to make its way downstream. Like all rivers with sediment from erosion, the soil finally makes its way to the sea, destroying precious ecosystems like the Great Barrier Reef. Any soil that doesn't get washed away is left exposed for dust storms. These travel thousands of kilometres, depositing soil in cities like Melbourne and the Alps in New Zealand. The final nail in the coffin occurred when we decided to replace these highly diverse grasslands in marginal areas with annual grain crops. Huge areas of trees, pastures and fence lines were removed to bring in large-scale machinery. We replaced this biodiversity with monocultures, bare soil and chemicals for weed control. The desertification of these grasslands expanded the desert by almost 2 to 3 times, resulting in the dehydration of inland and coastal forests. Last spring and summer, this became so severe that the forests dropped up to 50% of their leaves, increasing leaf litter on the forest floor. No amount of pre-season burning would have prepared us for this. When the forest litter did ignite, it took off like an explosion. The combination of high leaf litter and high oil content found in the gum trees led to fires that exceeded 100 kilometres an hour. These fires were enhanced by the baking temperatures in December, providing ideal conditions. These burnt out forests are now regenerating and will require large amounts of water to regrow. The forest previously supplied clean water to major towns along the eastern seaboard from Brisbane to Melbourne. That is no longer guaranteed. Water is life. Australia is the driest continent on Earth and more than ever needs to focus on an integrated hydrology plan. COVID-19 is a national wake-up call that we need to invest in regional projects that both protect and rebuild ecosystem services as well as provide long-term businesses and job opportunities. Last summer's extreme fires were not a one-off. They will happen again unless we get to the root of the problem, desertification. The hydration plan is part of a much-needed solution.